Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When the Ukrainians are telling you that they are losing a little bit here and there, that means they already lost. And if they tell you, hey, we're winning here, they're probably not close to doing that. It's not only the Ukrainian army who employs this kind of psychological reporting, it's also everyone who's involved in a war. I minimize my losses, I maximize my successes. So this article comes from an Ukrainian source, and it's from November 2nd, and it says that Russia creates two strike groups to surround Ukrainian forces, says General Zaporizhzhya. Now, if that comes like that, that means the things are already ongoing. So something is further than this guy, more advanced than this guy is reporting. The most dangerous development in the war for Ukraine could be the creation of two powerful strike groups of Russian forces, one deployed in Zaporizhzhya Oblast and the other one in Sumi Oblast, a senior Ukrainian army officer has warned. General Lieutenant Mikhailo Zabrodsky, first deputy of the head of Parliamentary Defense Committee, wrote in his column on November 1st that such groups might be tasked with launching two simultaneous strikes from the northern and the southern directions. The northern group could probably strike in the direction of Sumy to Poltava, then to Dnipropetrovsk, and the southern group from Zaporizhzhya to Dnipropetrovsk, said Zabrodsky. And I'm quoting, "In this case, the task of the troops on the existing contact line in the east will be only to restrain the groups of the armed forces of Ukraine and prevent the use of military units in other threatening directions," end quote, the general said. And I'm quoting, "The ultimate military goal of the operation may be the Russians dreamed of strategic surrounding of the Ukrainian armed forces group on the left bank of the Dnieper River. Meanwhile, an indisputable decisive political result for the Russian Federation may force Ukraine to negotiate from a position of pressure, similar to the condition of March this year," said Zabrodsky. So all this retreat of the Russians means these guys come in, they pull them in. So when you pull someone in, what's going on with your flanks? They could be exposed to being, you come in, they stay here, you come in, and then they just go down. And then they got this surround your armies. It's not the case yet per this general, but it seems like it's going that way. The general stressed that this concept was not new or unexpected for Ukraine. Moreover, such a plan was likely considered by the Russian military command as an option for the development of the situation as early as this spring, and specific elements of it were already attempted by the enemy. I remember when I was checking articles and strategic moves on the territory and on the front, the Russians tried to go and surround the Ukrainian militaries on a few occasions. I know they were able one time, and then the second time they just got out of, I can't remember, it was Zaporizhzhya, but they got out. And remember what happened with Mariupol and Azovstal. They got trapped over there. It was not that they started to defend what? No, they were just pushed, and they got into the Azovstal steel plant, and they couldn't go anywhere else from there. It was not like they were defending what exactly? A failed city already. The city was in the hands of the Russians, but they got blocked from the sea where there were mines, so they couldn't be picked up. And then they tried with some helicopters. Some of them succeeded, it seems like some of them didn't. But this is another example of the encirclement. At the same time, the presence of additional new military groups and the current configuration of the contact line provided it remains unchanged, has given this idea a second life, Zabrodsky said. Ukraine, however, knows how to oppose such actions by the Russian Federation, he added. The problem is not that you don't know. You have plans about, blocking these kind of situations. But when the front falls, and if the enemy's troops just break in with high speed, you can't retreat as fast as those guys advance. So that was the problem with the Blitzkrieg. When the Germans attacked France, they went towards France, and they did what? They went to the Nordic to the lower states, Belgium, Netherlands. So they went north. So it was the the Maginot line, defensive line of the French, and they just avoided it. Instead of Germany trying to break in through the Maginot line, it just went around it like this. So by the time here were the lowlands, and here was the ocean, if you wanna. All right, that area here in the Baltic Sea, and then is the English Channel. So they went in between the Maginot line and the sea. Boop, here. And when these guys realized they couldn't come back and block them anywhere because they were already in. Yeah, they could have cut them off, but the Blitzkrieg was like this. Instead of thinning out, it was just keeping the same thing, the same width. That's why they had to stop at one point. Rommel and his tanks were going too fast, and the supply and everybody else was coming too slow. So he had to stop, and he was throwing tantrums that, come on, hurry up, we gotta go. Well, you're too fast because you didn't encounter anybody. When they got into France, there was nobody there. It's just everybody was on the Maginot line and looking at, what are the Germans doing? Where are they going? Hey, that's how it was. No wonder they did it in 3 weeks or something. They solved the problem with France. So you know these things, but sometimes the situation over there in the field changes so fast that you can't react the way. I mean, yeah, I'm going to react if these guys, I see them doing that, I'm going to react. Yeah, you don't have maybe the time to react as fast. Ukraine, however, knows how to oppose such actions. Okay, the general said, Ukraine can create powerful new operational groups of the armed forces in the south, in the area east of the city of Zaporizhzhya, and in the north in the Sumi area. Well, you're going to bring armies from where? You can't bring them from inside. You have to bring them either from Belarus's border, which you don't have too many, or from other areas. That means you weaken those. In his article, Zabrodsky also explained why it would be logical and expedient from a military point of view for the Russian occupiers to withdraw from the city of Kherson and the west bank of the Dnipro. Throw in, clamp them. Well, this is what this general says, and the fact that he says it tells me that probably the things are way more advanced than the situation reported by this general. We'll find out and see if the Russians will have the power, the strength to push the Ukrainians back in those two, in Sumi and Zaporizhzhya. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.